I was impressed with that move you pulled. Bang.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's me, it's DMC, the undefeated, undisputed YouTube champion. That's right, it's the Maverick, Mark Daniels, and another team analysis, our team strategy, team build for our first battle in the LCF tomorrow against Tortimer the Gray. If you don't know who he is, definitely check him out. I'll have a link to his YouTube channel in the description below. He's going to be participating in the upcoming NPA in February, so if you're interested in following that, definitely give him a follow, definitely subscribe to him, and check him out. But this is the team that I'm going to be getting together here. I'm going to explain to you guys why I have the Pokemon I have, why I got the moves that I have, and hopefully we'll come out on top tomorrow in our first ever LCF battle. Now, next week, I do have a bye. I have a bye week next week, which means I won't be battling anybody next week. So I might have some practice battles in place of the LCF battle. I'll be doing a lot of practicing. I'll be doing some scouting and watching the other players, battle it out on their videos. And again, if you haven't checked out my draft analysis video, you can do so. And I linked all the YouTube channels for all the guys that are in my LCF with me, draft league format. And you guys can go give them a follow as well, watch the matches there. But let's talk about our team. So first, before I get into my team, he had 12 Pokemon at his disposal. And I'm going to tell you guys what 12 Pokemon he had, and then we're going to talk about why I picked who I picked. And you can kind of see my team here, obviously. But his first pick was Koffing, followed by Bronzor, Scraggy, Ghastly, Natu, Carvanha, Anorith, Bunnelby, Magby, Piggypeck, Squirtle, and Voltorb. Very good and interesting list of Pokemon. So obviously, he, in my mind, obviously I don't know exactly what he's going to pick yet, but in my mind, Koffing and Bronzor and Scraggy and Ghastly will definitely be here. Those are his big Pokemon. They're great Pokemon nonetheless. So those are the main that I have to worry about as far as I'm concerned. Another possibility, Carvanha could come out as well as Natu. He could just straight up pick his first 6 Pokemon, and I got to be ready for that. So the first thing I noticed was that his Pokemon, the biggest weakness in his team, at least in my eyes, is ground-type Pokemon. And the cool thing is, even though Koffing and Bronzor both have Levitate, I got a Pokemon with the ability of Mold Breaker, which ignores the effect of Levitate. So I can still do super effective damage and a lot of damage with Drillbur to his Bronzor and his Koffing, which is going to be huge. Drillbur was the first Pokemon I chose for this battle because I knew, and Ghastly has Levitate as well, or could potentially, he could obviously switch the abilities, but he's probably going to run Levitate on Ghastly as well. All weak against Earthquake, all very weak against it. Now, with that in mind, he knows that I have Drillbur, so I would assume he's going to bring at least one flyer with him. He might even bring both. He has his hands on Natu and Piggypeck, which is why we got Rock Slide here to kind of hopefully counteract that. Rapid Spin, I mean, he has a couple Pokemon that could set up hazards. We're going to try and get rid of that and keep our Fletchling fresh so we can take advantage of Gale Wings. And we'll get to that in just a little bit. Poison Jab is a very useless move against his team. He doesn't really have anything that's weak against Poison. But honestly, I couldn't think of anything else to put in its place. There's really no other option. X-Scissor doesn't do anything for me. Swords Dance, but I'm Choice Scarfed. And we'll get to why I'm Choice Scarfed here in a second. Stealth Rocks, again, Choice Scarfed, don't want to be locked into Stealth Rocks. I have to force a switch immediately, and then I'll pretty much show him that I have it, the Choice Scarf. I don't want him to know I have it right away. Break I thought about, but I did the damage calculations on, say, for instance, Bunnelby. Earthquake does more damage than Brick, even though it's super effective. But thanks to Stab, it just does more damage. So that is why I chose the moveset I have here. Nothing really too special here. Obviously, Mold Breaker is the ability I went with. Choice Scarf. So since Drillbur is so important to beating these guys, I want to be able to outspeed all the Pokemon he has that I'm going to be super effective against. I'm hoping Drillbur doesn't fall down early on because I'm going to need him for the majority of this matchup here. His only water Pokemon he has, which is a major weakness to Drillbur, he doesn't have any grass Pokemon, is Squirtle. And I don't know if he'll bring Squirtle. Or he also has Carvanha, and I think he will bring Carvanha. I'm not too worried about the Squirtle so much. He could bring both, but I don't see that happening, which is why you'll see here in a minute why I ran Water Absorb on Chinchou, because the only electric Pokemon he has is Voltorb. And I'm not super worried about electric-type Pokemon. I mean, Fletchling is to a certain degree, but Drillbur is a ground type, and that gives me a free switch if he does that. Unless he predicts the switch and has something up his sleeve, which he might. This guy's a fantastic battler. I've watched a handful of his videos. I've seen him in other draft league formats in the past. That guy is good. but I don't know if he's going to be able to predict that right off the bat. So hopefully he doesn't. Also, other Pokemon that are weak against Earthquake or ground types in general. He has Anorith. He has Magby. And that's it. So majority of his Pokemon, almost half, and Voltorb too, about half of his Pokemon are weak against ground. So it was very imperative to me that Drillbur would be the forefront of this team, and may or may not start. I don't know yet. Depends on what he actually picks. But he's going to be the most important Pokemon on my team, I think. So obviously his biggest weakness will be water from his team perspective, which is why I got Chinchou to hopefully help with that with the water Zorb. We'll get to Chinchou in a minute because we're going to talk about Growlithe. So I'm pretty confident that he's going to bring Bronzor. And Bronzor is a tough Pokemon to deal with if I don't have Drillbur around. On top of that, Growlithe has some great type coverage. I have Wild Charge, so if I predict a switch in from Carvana, or if he's running Squirtle or Picky Peck, I can get some free damage with Wild Charge and do a tremendous amount of damage. I went with the bulky version. I should probably show you guys this too. Jolly for the extra speed. Growlithe, I went with a bulkier version so I can lift some physical attacks here. Intimidate, I can weaken his physical attacks for things, like Scraggy will be a problem. And the moves I've decided to run here: Close Combat, Flare Blitz, Wild Charge, and Morning Sun. So, Close Combat is there for Pokemon like Carvana. If I gonna predict a switch, if he has certain Pokemon that are weak against fighting, Carvana, Anorith, Bunnelby are the majority of the Close Combat there. Flare Blitz, Bronzor, and that's pretty much it. I'm looking at the list right now. That's all that's really super effective against, but it does have Stab, and there's a tremendous amount of damage. So Pokemon like Ghastly, like Natu, Bunnelby, etc., aren't going to take. They're not going to want to take it. And he may run Magby to resist it or any of the water Pokemon, but again, Wild Charge can hopefully counteract the water Pokemon there. And Morning Sun, I am bulky. Perhaps I can, with Eviolite as well, I get a free switch in. I can just simply heal back up on a free turn and switch out if I need to. One thing my team does lack a little bit is bulk, but Growlithe is the bulkiest guy we got on our team, and hopefully it works out for us. So that's Growlithe. So then Chinchou. So again, my biggest weakness already with these two would be water. So Water Absorb is what I'm running. He could run Voltorb, but again, I'm not super worried about Voltorb. Even though I wouldn't run Volt Absorb with him, I can still take an Electric Attack from Voltorb pretty easily. Drillbur can take it for free. Chinchou can take it okay. It's neutral. So I'm not super worried about a Voltorb. He could be running it. I just don't see it happening. Fletchling would be the weakest person as far as the electricity goes. And I would just try to do my best not to switch into it, obviously. Timid Nature, another Scarf, and this may change. This part might change because I'm not fully sold on running 2 Choice Scarves. You guys already know how I feel about Choice Scarves in general. But I want to be able to outspeed his Pokemon, and the way to do that is Choice Scarf and just building a lot of investment in speed. We have Scald, obviously great Water Stab, could potentially burn and weaken physical attacks, which is tremendous. Volt Switch, nice little pivot. Dazzling Gleam and Thunder Wave may also switch. With Scarf, I hate running a move like Thunder Wave. Another option would be something like Heal Bell, but again, hate running those kind of moves. It locks you in. Ice Beam, you would normally see Ice Beam on a Chinchou set, but the problem is he doesn't really have something that's just weak against ice that wouldn't be weak against electric or water. He doesn't have any Dragon Pokemon that I would run the Ice Beam on instead. I'm running Dazzling Gleam for the Scraggy because Scraggy is a dark fighting, so it would just body the Scraggy, and I'm hoping I can maybe even surprise it in there. It's also good against Carvana, so if he switched, which I don't see why he would, but if he did, it would be super effective against it, obviously. Volt Switch, super effective against Carvana, Squirtle, Picky Peck if he runs it. Scald, just a good stab move. Magby would be the only one that'd be weak against it. Anorith too. Sorry, Anorith and Scraggy, or not Scraggy, and Magby. Magby, Scraggy kind of rhymes it a little bit. Plus, it does a lot of damage to things like Ghastly or even Bronzor. If it switches on it can take a bit of damage from it. So that is why we're running the moveset we're running on Chinchou. Another Choice Scarf item, the last of the Choice items on this team. I'm just not a huge fan of running Choice items. You guys already know that, but that's what we're running on him. Fletchling, itemless, Acrobatics, so we can take advantage of Acrobatics. It does more damage, double the damage if it has no held item. And I got Gale Wing, so I get priority with the Flying Attack if I have full HP. U-turn for a pivot, Swords Dance if I can get a free Swords Dance off, why not? And then Flame Charge is an interesting move that I'm going to run here. Typically, you would see like Roost. I don't think I'm going to be living long enough to run Roost, but Flame Charge is for Bronzor. If I can, because I really think he's going to run Bronzor. Like I'm almost like I bet anything Bronzor's coming. I think Flame Charge will be able to be. We'll do a lot of damage to Bronzor, and I could potentially get a speed up off of it, which is really nice too. Actually has a 100% chance, so I could definitely raise my speed off on it. So if I could switch it for free on Bronzor, use a Flame Charge, get my speed up, or even use Swords Dance, whatever it is I want to do, switches into something else. Maybe I can even have speed in now, even without the priority, and maybe be able to sweep some stuff up. Otherwise, Scraggy I'm going to be good against as well. I'm also weak against ground type, and he's going to be running some Earthquake on a couple of these guys. I'm hoping I can get around that with Fletchling. So Flying Pokemon was necessary for that alone. And again, I can do some damage with Fletchling. Acrobatics does body a lot of Pokemon. It does a lot of damage. And if I have full health, he switches in on it, and Ghastly takes an Acrobatics. It's not going to want to take a second one. And I have the priority on it if I have full HP. So that is why I'm running what I'm running. Here's the Adamant set. We got the spread here. Really nothing more to talk about Fletchling. Pancham. The reason why I'm running Pancham, so it took me a long time to really debate on the last two Pokemon because I didn't really know what to take. Pancham is a very powerful Pokemon. Has the ability Mold Breaker, so it ignores abilities. Unfortunately, he doesn't have Earthquake, which would be so good if he did, but he doesn't. So it doesn't really affect things here. I thought about running Scrappy instead, and I might, because honestly, Mold Breaker doesn't really affect me in any way. So in fact, I think I will run Scrappy, because that way, if he switches into Ghastly on a fighting move, I can still hit it and do damage to it. He's also there if he brings Bunnelby. I got damage on Bunnelby there. I'm running Zen Headbutt for the Coughing. I need something for it. I don't have a Psychic Pokemon in my draft, but Zen Headbutt will do some work there. And Ghastly doesn't want to be hit by Zen Headbutt either. Knockoff's great. Can take off items. Great against Bronzor and Ghastly, Natu, any of these guys. None of these guys will get hit by a knockoff. Parting Shot, another pivot move, and it also decreases attack and special attack, I believe. Lowers special attack and attack by 1, and I can get a switch off. So if I think he's going to switch a Pokemon, I can do Parting Shot. Not only do I get a free switch off, I get to lower some attacks there. So that's pretty cool. And it may force a secondary switch for them as well. So that is why Pancham is here. I thought about running Togepi so I could have like some really powerful an extra set of fire moves or something. But the fact that he has Coughing and Bronzor, that's going to be his major core. I just couldn't run Togepi. It's just too much of a risk. Ferroseed would have been cool too. But again, he doesn't really do much against Coughing and Bronzor, and Scraggy would just body him. Not really worth bringing Ferroseed either. So that's why Pancham's here. And then Meowth, we're going to try Meowth out. I've already done some practice battles. Meowth has been pretty good. He's there. Again, need to fill a spot. With the Technician ability, any Pokemon move that has 60 power or less gets plus 1 point times the power. So Hidden Power Psychic will actually be doing 90 base damage versus 60. And that's going to help me with Coughing a little bit. Obviously, my major move here is going to be Dark Pulse. Very powerful stab move for him. Fake Out's cool too. Even though I'm not physically invested, I am running Timid for the extra speed. I can get a free attack off and flinch the Pokemon. So why wouldn't I take free damage? And it has priority. Thunderbolt, obviously great against his Natu, his Carvana, his Pinky Peck, his Squirtle. Does a lot of damage. And I mean, I could run Shadow Ball, but again, I did the calculations. The only Pokemon that would really be effective by it would be Natu and Ghastly. And Dark Pulse just does more damage to both of them than Shadow Ball does. I thought about running U-turn for like the pivot, but it just doesn't fit. So that's really, I mean, Nasty Plot would be cool too, but I just don't think I'm gonna be able to set up at all. And on top of that, Pancham is weak against Psychic. I can kind of switch it on Meowth to take the move for free. If he runs a Psychic ability on Ghastly or somebody, or Natu for that matter. Natu was the big one. I could switch it and try to get a free Dark Pulse off because he would probably switch Natu into something that's probably Bronzor or Coffee. So that's why I picked the team I picked, guys. Life 4 for the extra damage. I didn't really know what other item. I could give him Eevee Life, but I just wanted to get as much damage with this guy's possible. But that's my team, guys. Really just trying to outspeed him. Really, the big two Pokemon for my team are going to be these guys for sure. Chinchao's going to help out for making up their weaknesses, and he can take out some Pokemon too. Chinchao's no joke, let me tell you. He is my #1 draft pick for a reason, and we're hopefully going to see him do some work on this battle. If you are curious, I am recording this on Monday because our battle is going to be on Tuesday, so you'll be seeing this video on Tuesday and our actual battle on Wednesday the day after. That way you guys get a little bit of time to kind of digest the information from this battle, and then you guys can check out that battle. And again, Tortimer the Great's a great guy, very intelligent battler, so if you are interested in checking him out, definitely do so. Again, his link to his channel will be in the description below, so definitely check him out. And hopefully we do well. Hopefully, if we do lose, hopefully we at least put up a good fight. This is my first battle in the LCF, and this is my first preparation video, so to speak, for somebody. So it's a lot of fun. Very excited, and I think we have a really solid team here. I think we're going to do just fine. If we can keep Drillbur alive, I think we could do a lot of work on his team. And he may surprise me. He may be fully prepared for Drillbur, bring his Squirtle, his Carvana. I'm trying to think of anything else on his team that would really body my Drillbur. And even then, I outspeed these guys, so I might even be able to take them out and just switch out, whatever. But those are really the two major ones. And I definitely fully suspect to see Carvana. Squirtle, maybe. And I'm ready for Carvana. Chinchou is ready for Carvana. Waterfall, boom, water absorb. You know what I mean? It's going to be great. And then I can just Volt Switch. He doesn't have a ground type Pokemon, so he can't absorb the Volt Switch. I can literally get it for free. So very cool, very excited. And like I said, you'll see that battle on Wednesday. This battle's up on Tuesday. So wish me luck, guys. I wish good luck to Tortimer the Great. Good luck, have fun. That's what it's all about. GLHF. Until next time, guys. I am the Maverick Mark Daniels. Bidding you a farewell. Peace, one love, and Crocodile Club for life.
For life.